I thought Steve Angeli at the start of this game was actually pretty solid. The first drive, Syracuse goes right down the field, but they're stuffed on a 4th and 2. Second drive was a punt. Third drive, again, they go deep into UConn territory, but they get stopped on another 4th down. To that point, I thought that Steve Angeli's performance did not match the output of Syracuse on offense, where he was doing his job. He was performing. I think he started this game like 10 of 13, and you could sit here and you could nitpick him in the beginning saying, oh, he could have had a throw here, could have had a throw there, shouldn't have taken the sack there. But for the most part, he was on point, and he was delivering for Syracuse. That was the beginning of this game. Then you have the entire middle portion up until about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, where Steve Angeli was horrendous. Horrendous. I mean, how many times throughout this game did we all sit there and say, he missed high on that one. He missed high over the middle of the field. He did this, he did that. How many times did he nearly throw an interception? I just lost track. I'm being honest with you right now. There were so many plays, and I'm sure we can do a deep dive on it in future podcasts. But right now, this is just a post-game gut reaction. He put the ball in harm's way a lot. And finally, in the fourth quarter, he gets burned. He makes a bad decision. I believe he was targeting Justice Ross Simmons outside right. Underthrown ball, poor decision to begin with. He gets picked off. I'll tell you what. There were several moments in this game where I think Syracuse needs to make a switch. I think they need to see what they have in Ricky Collins. You might as well, because Angeli was not performing. Not like his offensive line was doing him any favors either, by the way. I mean, how many free rushers did the offensive line allow on Steve Angeli? That's not good either. So I'm not absolving the offensive line. But in that second half especially, this defense was giving this offense and this quarterback chance after chance after chance. And Syracuse can't do anything. And their bread and butter is their offense. We all know that the offense, for the most part, is better than the defense. At least that's what we saw in week 1 against Tennessee and literally all of the 2024 season. How good the offense is and this defense doesn't step up. It was reversed in the second half of this game. But Steve Angeli battled. He fought hard. Fran Brown, even though I disagreed with him in the moment, he stuck with him. And when he threw that touchdown to Justice Ross Simmons, he saw something positive happen. It's like a light bulb went off with him. Because from then on, he did not make a single mistake. He did not make a single mistake. The first play, when they get the ball down by 5 points, 2:06 remaining, checks it down to Will Nixon, who Will Nixon makes a nice play, stampers for 11 yards. Then Steve Angeli hits Dan Villari up the left seam for 26 yards. He hits Jonte Cook for a 4-yard out. He was making all the throws. Then they actually get deep into UConn territory and they start running the ball a little bit because Syracuse at that point, their passing game had kind of opened up. That opens up the run of Syracuse football. And so even though Steve Angeli does not technically get the finishing touches of it because he didn't get a touchdown on that drive, he was sensational on that game-tying drive. He did not make a single mistake on that one. And his throw to Darryl Gill in the back of the end zone for the 2-point try, perfect. Perfect from Steve. Then you get to overtime. Angeli once again using his check down in Will Nixon for a first down. And then a perfect out route on a 3rd and 1 to Justice Ross Simmons. Great throw, great catch, great arm extension. And that ended up being the game-winning touchdown. So what did we learn about Steve Angeli in this performance? Well, I think it was always there in him. This is a tough kid. This is the same guy who came in cold in a college football playoff game and led a field goal drive for Notre Dame against a very good Penn State defense last year. Steve Angeli could be having the best day. He could be having the worst day. it doesn't seem to rattle him. It doesn't seem to bother him. So that's what we learned about our quarterback. And I'll get ahead of it right now. I do not think they should make a quarterback change now. There's no point. You got Colgate on Friday night. That's a game where everyone should be feeling good. Everyone should be feeling happy. That's basically the free win for Syracuse football this season. That's the only game you get to go to as a fan where you know your favorite team, if you're a Syracuse fan, is going to win. There's no point in going to Ricky Collins in that one unless it's an absolute blowout. So Steve Angeli, he gets the start in all likelihood in that game. And yeah, we'll see what he does against Clemson in a couple of weeks. But I'm feeling a lot better about Steve Angeli now than how I was throughout the game. As far as what's going to happen throughout the rest of the season with him, I don't know. Time will tell. And we could talk about some of, I guess, the negatives on future podcasts when we really break down his performance. But he showed stones in this one. He could have easily folded. He could have easily quit. Fran Brown could have quit on him. But Fran Brown showed faith, and it ended up working out. Syracuse gets the victory.